talking about film reviews, when we read them or see them on air, a lot of time is given to, okay, Aishwarya was looking stunning in this role. She was looking so beautiful. Do you sometimes feel, that people talk about your looks a little bit more than how, they should be talking more about how hard you worked at the role? Is that a little distracting for you?
So are you going to bring about the change?
I think so, hope so.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a catch-22 situation to be in, because sometimes, yes, I'll confess that I have gone through feelings of how about talking about what I delivered, or when I went to, as a jury member, or different such situations, or like you say in films, when people will talk about the look, about what the apparent was like, whether it be clothes, whether it be makeup, hair, the externalization. And I'd be like, how about the content? Let's talk about the content here. And that's what I'm doing day in and day out. So yeah, sure, I have gone through that.
It's an absolute pleasure and honor for me to declare the 58th Cannes Film Festival open.
But I think it was a phase, and I'm very, very thankful today that through that time it called for a lot of patience, a lot of me holding back and just hoping it would change. And I'm glad to see that happening now, that look, it's already started with you actually turning around and saying that people need to pay attention more to what you're doing, and that's a good feeling. Thank you.
Well, you're most welcome. Tell me, Aishwarya, when you go to international shows, let's say an Oprah Winfrey show or a David Letterman show, or even a film festival like Cannes, do you have a certain responsibility in mind? Because you are going there as a representative of India, and there'll be so many people who will be watching you and forming an opinion about our country. So do you have that responsibility weighing on you somewhere?
No, because that's too much pressure. So, no, there's no question of trying to, any pretenses or trying to live up to a certain level of expectation or any such thing, because I've never believed in that. And that's something dates back to what I decided to do right during Miss World. And that
Aishwarya rai! What a pleasure. That is so funny that, just the moment it's going to be a tender thing, and then there comes the song.
Of course, with time and, your experiences each time, and you're maturing over time, obviously your manner probably changes. Probably initially, because I was so intent on just being true, being myself, not creating an image, I was probably more guarded, just like a normal Indian girl, stepping out. You'd be more guarded as your parents' daughter. That's the way I was. I was my parents' daughter, I was the Indian daughter, traveling abroad. That's exactly what it was.
And is living with your parents still a big deal for the international press?
I think everybody has now, it's settled in because that's something that I definitely, but I'm a lot more comfortable. Probably what people today see is I'm extremely comfortable with being this public person. So probably that's why that much more in ease. The world has become a little more your playground. It's just, we all know each other now over so long that I don't think there is a question of wondering about who I am or who you are, because we've really interacted very, very often. So that's comfortable. But in terms of being aware of a responsibility, that's natural. I think that's the way we are brought up, that wherever you go, be yourself, but you're obviously responsible to who you are first. You have to be true to who you are, and that element of truth being probably the strongest, and comfort and lack of pretense is what will make you deliver the best to whatever you do. So that's a very, very basic doctrine, and it's just that the parameters and the platform gets larger, and thereby the perception becomes wider, but the principle or the manner is just the same old basic.
Well, talking a little about your personal life, tell me, do you feel uncomfortable when a lot of attention is paid to, whom you're interacting with?
I have decided to be a public person. I mean, I am a public personality, or leave. go away and, you know, try and lead a very, very quiet life somewhere. So it is what you identify or define as an occupational hazard. But at the same time, I do choose to decide what I believe is personal and what I believe needs to be public. You know me by virtue of what I do, and I'm willing to obviously talk, interact, and very generously share all the information you need on what I'm here to do, whether it be an endorsement, whether it be by films. But I haven't forgotten that I'm a normal person with something what you call a personal life. And that's the way I like to keep it.
Okay, one last question for you. Tell me, what's the best thing about being Aishwarya Rai?
I think just the incredible amount of love and positivity that you receive. I mean, yes, you all do remind me in your interviews and say, well, what about all the negative, and there's, you know, so much of, there's a roller coaster ride so often. Sure, but, you know, that's a speck on the spectrum of, in terms of the amount of love that you receive. It's tremendous. It's just very humbling. It's very, very satisfying, and it's just, it's unexplainable. The kind of love, the positivity, the blessings that you receive, and truly, you obviously, I treasure and love my family, but you are very often reminded in your various travels and experiences of how much larger a family you belong to, and that's a very special feeling.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Aishwarya.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.